Hello, good morning, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Doreen, and on today's video of youth and home education, I'll be telling you things you need to do in school, but no one tells you about them. So I have like 15 of these things and I want to discuss with you today. As a student, you are supposed to be doing these things, but nobody will tell you. And because no one is telling you, when you graduate, you'll find it very difficult. I noticed that some people have been unsubscribing from my channel, but please, I'm begging you, do not unsubscribe because I have some goodies for you, especially like this one. I know that I teach German in this. It's like most of you don't want to learn German, but I have other things that I'm doing. Like I told you, I'm doing youth and home education. There is an agency that wants nurses to come and work for them in Germany. This agency wants you to get B2 of your German certificate, and then you can come. We will help you get the contract in Germany. Mind you, nobody's asking to pay anything to get this contract. The only thing you have to do is to find money for your visa and money for your flight to Germany, and accommodation is free for you. I hope you like that. Yeah. Please, I want to really beg you to stop unsubscribing to this channel. This video today is very, very important. Share this video with your classmates, your classmates, and as well to your siblings that are also in the school, or maybe they want to enter into the university. So what you have to do is, anyone I say, if you're into it or you're already doing it, check. You have to tick. So write down these points. Number one, in Nigeria here we pay for acceptance fee. I don't know how it is in many other countries, but here you pay for acceptance fee to show that you have accepted the admission. Then the next thing is for you to come immediately and start doing your registration. As you're doing registration, some offices you need to enter, maybe for your departmental offices, faculty offices, library registration, security registration, hostel accommodation registration if you are going to stay in the hostel, student affairs registration, and so on and so forth. What you have to do is that when you register, we'll give you receipts. Okay, these receipts, you are going to file them and put them in a clear back file. But the trick there is that you have to scan these receipts. Scan them, create a folder for you in your laptop where you have to put all the receipts that are from the university, and you send them to your mail. Because sometimes something might happen to these receipts and you start looking for them, or they get missing or get spoiled or something. Then when you graduate, you find out that you will need to do some clearance and you are supposed to present these receipts. Then it is only the scanned one that can show that you properly did the registration at the beginning, so that you don't have to pay a second time for this receipt. Sometimes when you are a new student, that's number two now, photocopying is like a business here in Nigeria. So many people, the documents you're supposed to submit to the school for in your that's supposed to be in your file, some people will tell you to photocopy them as many as possible, that you're going to be needing them. I remember when I was here undergrad, sometimes they will tell us to photocopy up to 20 copies of one particular document, which you will not even need. I'm telling you, you don't need these documents to photocopy them up to 20 copies. It's just that those photocopy guys, they just want to make money out of you. So they tell you to photocopy it in many numbers. Please do not do so. You have to be sure of the numbers that you are supposed to use. Then you know how many photocopies you are making, and remember to reserve at least 2 copies of photocopy of each of these. So you have a clear bag file for original separate, and then another file for your photocopy, so you save yourself the money. And now the trick here is that most times when they ask you to laminate a document, I'm going to show you this. You can see those photocopy guys, they will also tell you to laminate your certificates. This is a very strong, you can notice it's very, very strong lamination. This is wrong. This is wrong. Please do not do this type of lamination, because if you are maybe looking for a way to further your education, and sometimes you might need to go to abroad to further education and maybe go to embassies, and you need to submit the original, this particular lamination will not allow you to, they will reject this actually, because this has, you have tampered with this document. Yeah, this is no longer valid. Okay, because if I want to remove this set inside this document now, it means I'm going to spoil. No difference between the paper inside and the lamination itself. Put your certificate inside your files, or if you want to laminate, you might want to do this type of lamination that is just so soft. You can see that this one is like waterproof. This is very, very soft. Okay, in this case, if I want to get this document out, I can separate it immediately from the paper, and I will not tamper the document inside. Number 3 will be for you to try to put yourself out there by participating in public offices. Sometimes the students will have a union that you call like SUG here in Nigeria. That's the student government. Try to be part of it, either for this university or for your department, or maybe for faculty. You try to be part of it. Either you are the secretary, or you are the president, the vice president, because at the end of your studies, you will be needing to say what you have done throughout your uni period. And when you can say that you are the president of the SUG, or you are their secretary from this section to this section, the people that you are applying for, maybe you're looking for a job, they will automatically see you as a leader, and they will be happy to recruit you into their office. If you cannot get yourself into those offices, you try your best to at least be maybe course rep or assistant course rep, or even go into for example, all these competitions, fashion competition, spelling bee and all that, so that you can win something. Number 4 of that is to join student clubs, student academic clubs, educational club, sports clubs, and all these other voluntary clubs that are in the university, because it's going to help you boost your CV after school, because everything will boil down to what you will get after school, how you are going to put yourself out there after school. So it's important that you join this club, the student clubs. There are some clubs that are Rotary clubs that we have here, Students for Liberty, all these things. When people are join so that you can get a certificate of participation, or you have the opportunity to work in their offices as either president or welfare officer or whatever, to be out there in the public. You can as well join other student union that has to do with maybe from your state, where you come from, the union of these people from your state. There is a good way of networking. From there, you can even get opportunity for you to get a job, get someone who can help you with something one day or the other. And joining these clubs are also a way of getting scholarship. For example, after studies and you want to further your education, maybe abroad, and you needed a sponsorship, okay, you through these clubs and everything, you can get sponsored, or you can write them as one of the things you did. This can impress the people that are giving you the scholarship. Join a voluntary organization and volunteer. Try your best to volunteer in your country, volunteer in the church. You can join all these volunteer organizations that go to the prisons, to go to hospital. Try to volunteer in your community. And so you want to study abroad and you're applying for a school outside the country, they will want to know if you have ever volunteered for anything. Sometimes after school, some people will want to go to another country to do some voluntary job, like for example FSCOs, that or BFD, that is voluntary jobs, okay, but you will be required to say that you have volunteered in your country. If you have not volunteered in your country, why would you go and volunteer in another man's country? That doesn't make sense. Also, another way of getting experience before you graduate, because sometimes when you finish your education and you're applying for a job, they say they want someone with 4 years experience, 5 years experience. So if you have volunteered throughout these years of your studies at the uni, this is an opportunity to say that you have volunteered for so years, and that is a work experience for you to get an award. Yeah, try your best to get an award as a student. Either get an award as the best graduating student, and I hear that in Nigeria here that some students just go behind and pay for this award, and then it will be given to them. But if you had to, pay for it, you had to do it because you need it for your future. Let me say you are applying for a scholarship. If you have said that you have won awards during your university days, you can see that those scholarship people will look at you as someone that is very, very important, and they know that they need to give you this scholarship. Talking about scholarship, that is the next number, which you have to try your best to get a scholarship. As you are here as undergrad, try to get a scholarship, even if it is a simple scholarship of going for a trip, even if it is a 1 month trip. Like sometimes the DAAD German, they give scholarship for people to go for 1 month summer class in Germany. Try your best to get something like that. Or you can get a scholarship at home. For example, there are some organizations, not just individual. Even if it is individual, let it be a well-known name, not maybe your uncle sponsoring you in school. That's not the scholarship I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about is the one that is an organization that offers scholarship that one can go online and see. So when you get this type of scholarship, if you are applying for further studies and you need to get a scholarship, they will also ask you if you have been given a scholarship before, that you should mention the organization that have given you the scholarship. If it's for one section, if it's a weekend scholarship, something, if it's sponsored for you to do an online class or something, this will help you to get the scholarship that you are looking for. It will as well help to boost your CV. Number 7 will be to join an academic group. There are some academic groups that are into research. Join one of them. For example, if you are studying languages like us, you can have the one that they call UFTAN. UFTAN is for the French people. We even have NATOG group. Okay, there is always a space for students to come and register. Sometimes when they have a conference or a workshop or a lecture or participation, you need to go and participate. They normally give lower prices for students and then higher prices for the lecturers. So through this research organization, you can go there, listen to their presentations, and see how one can write a journal article, how one can publish books, and learn everything at this moment, because in the future you will be needing to show that you have published an article in a journal or a book or something. When you are searching for a school abroad, they will want to know if you have published anything at all. If you have not published anything, it simply shows that you are not qualified to be in their school. Get acquainted to the lecturers there. Sometimes you need to publish something. If you cannot do it alone, you can do it with a lecturer. You can co-author an article. Sometimes you will have a lecture going on. They will say that this social professor is giving a lecture. You have to go and attend. Get the certificate of participation. If you have written an article together with a lecturer, try to follow to do their presentation, so that you will get a certificate that you have presented social article in social conference. Okay, very, very important. And also try to publish the book that you have written in a prominent journal. Take for example, to further education abroad, they will expect you to show off your writing skills as a sample writing. Some people may only use their project work. Tell me, if your project work is not a good work, how are you going to present it as your sample writing? It is only through joining these research clubs that you will be able to write a good research as a sample writing that you can present, and even let them know that you have published it in so journal, so they can go to that journal and see your publication. It already gives you the grade they are looking for. And as a student, before you graduate, you must have published at least 2 articles. I'm telling you, try to publish at least 2 articles. These are things you have to do as a student, and nobody is telling you about this, but I'm telling you now. So please use this opportunity to like this video. You have learned a lot, so share it with other students. Do not allow them to miss out on these things I'm giving you. And like this video, tell me what you think about it in the comment section. If you have any question, please ask me. Try your best to use your school internet, especially going to your school library. Some schools have online libraries, okay, and make use of the library. There are a lot of resources there for you to use. Okay, not when you go to a school, the library is empty. Meanwhile, we have thousands of students there. Download articles, download courses online. For example, you have the YouTube. A lot of things are going on in the YouTube. A lot of people are teaching some courses in the YouTube. When you find it difficult to learn a particular course, just go on YouTube and type that course, you will get a teacher teaching it. Okay, to make use of your internet properly, not for downloading movies. Best to use it for your academic skills, learn a lot of skills. You can even learn something different while you are studying another thing different. As a student, use this opportunity to learn how to read fast. Reading fast is very, very important. If you don't know how to read fast, try using this opportunity to learn how timing yourself as you read. I take, for example, you want to travel abroad for studies, and you know that white people, they are fast, they can read faster. Tell me, how are you going to cope with them? So try your best to start now as a student, to start training yourself on how to read and read as fast as possible. If you're studying literature, sometimes you might be given a novel that is so big like this. It's so overwhelming, it's so difficult to read. And now you come to school tomorrow and your white guy counterpart has finished reading it just in a day. What are you going to do? If you're in final year, you see that you are writing your project work, and sometimes you can get stuck. Like this has happened to me, and that's why it's very important. Anything you type in your laptop for your project, please send it to your mail, send it to a friend's mail, let it be saved somewhere. Get a hard disk and save it in another place, because I experienced this and many other people around me experienced it. There was a case of a woman who was typing, and before you know it, boom, the laptop is gone, the thing just went off. And it happened to me too. I was typing my project work. In fact, I am supposed to submit it the next week, and boom, everything is gone. So you see yourself crying because you don't have it stored in anywhere except your laptop. My laptop just crashed. You don't have it saved anywhere. You have to start afresh to start doing the work. You can see how difficult it will be for you. So the best thing is for you to be storing them in your flash. I was lucky, I stored in flash, but the other woman, she didn't store in anywhere, even in the email. So it's good to store in several places. Store in your hard disk, your flash, and as well in your email. You can always retrieve it after. So this is a good hack for you. Do not say I did not warn you. I warned you on time. Try to also participate in an adventure when you are in the school. Lead an adventurer group or maybe an experimental group. If you are going for research somewhere in another state, perform a prominent role in that. For example, if you're into archaeology, geology, you can, you can even be the one to start it up by organizing a group. Some people can create a group that even exists after they have graduated, that you can put in your CV to put you out there and make you one of the best. An experimental or adventurous research work where you people go and discover a new rock or discover something somehow. It is very, very important out there. Remember, the work out there is limited, but the number of people looking for a job are many. So in order to be on the safe side, try your best, your very possible best, to do something exceptional. Another point will be a friend to your professor. Be a friend to your professor or your lecturer or your teacher, your tutor. Try to be a friend to them because you will be needing them in future. Some people don't even know this. They only try to say this woman is so bad, this woman is so evil, this man is so evil. You see your lecturer, you just snub the person. You see the old woman carrying things you don't want to help out, you just pretend you don't know them. In future, they will pretend they don't know you. So that is why it is very important to make yourself known. Make the lecturers at least know your name. You can make them know you by maybe trying to answer questions in class or even asking questions. Make sure you ask a reasonable question. Don't go asking foolish questions there. 2 years after graduation or 4 years after graduation, you'll be needing them. Or immediately after graduation, you'll be needing them to give you recommendation. Because if you want to further your education, you want to do your master's degree or PhD, they might be asking you to get a referee. And this referee should be someone who has known your academic performances throughout your year in the university. There are no other persons than your lecturers. So it is good for you to be in good terms with them. Them as referee, you're looking for a job, they ask you to get a referee, you can use them. They can do a good recommendation for you. But if you are a student that snubs them, they don't even remember your name doesn't ring a bell. When you call them to tell them to please write a recommendation, they will tell you, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. And there's nothing you can do about it. You might see yourself missing the opportunity that you need because of just carelessness. Simple thing you could have just done. It's just courtesy. Just do it. Take your elective courses very seriously, especially when you are in your first year. In fact, I would say all your first year courses, you should take them very seriously. If you're still coming into the university or you're already in your first year, this first year is like a foundation that can spring you up to your final year. So if you start failing your courses in your first year, and you are a very unserious student in your first year because you are being carried away by school life, you will find out that at the end it will tell on you, because if you fail most of your first year courses, you will see yourself not moving forward, not getting good grades at the end. Because what matters at the end of studies is the good grades, because it's the good grades that you're going to use to get job. It is it that you're going to use to search for anything you want to do, unless you want to be independent, you want to be your own boss. But if you are not going to be your own boss, you're going to look for job. The set's supposed to give a good result about you, say something good about you. That is why it's very important. If you neglect your elective courses or borrowed courses outside your department because you feel that they are not all that necessary, they can pull your grades down. Make yourself not an F student. If you are this student that keeps failing and failing and failing, you have already made a kind of an impression to your lecturers or your professors that you are not qualified enough to study the course. If you want them to recommend to be a referee for you, they will run away, because nobody wants to recommend a student that will not perform well. Try to write your carryovers immediately. Stop keeping your carryovers. Some people, they keep piling up these carryovers, and by the time they know what is happening, they're already in their final year, and they find that they cannot graduate because these carryovers are going to make you to stay back. Because that's why it's good for you to write your carryovers immediately. For example, if you have failed in your first semester first year, then you know that you are going to write that course you have failed in the next section of the first semester. So do not pile it up. Just go and write it immediately. I'm sure that you will not want to have an extra year. You would like to graduate with other students. Students don't even know that they are supposed to be writing their failed courses. Yeah, because I've experienced a lot of students who just come, it's only this course that is holding me, or they come and they will be begging, please, what are we going to do, because I want to graduate and start paying school fees again and all that. And some people, by the time they reach their third year, they might be like, I'll write it in my final, I'll write. Before they know it, once the other results are coming out, they see that they have gotten a lot of F's too. So it's not too many. You see someone rewriting up to 9 courses, up to 5 courses. It's just too much, and your credit unit cannot carry it. Because you're in the university, nobody cares to look for you. The lecturers will not look for you to come and rewrite your courses. Everything will tell on you by the time of graduation. Go for exchange programs, go for internships, go for exchange programs. They are very, very important. For example, if you're studying a foreign language, let's say you're in Nigeria and you're studying French or German language, there are some things that some people do during holidays. They travel to places like Cameroon, Togo, register for maybe 1 month course, okay, and they go there and study to learn more, and also to live in a society where the language they are learning are being spoken. You see that when you do this kind of things, you're going to improve more in your studies. And when it comes to your CV, you have to put it that you have gone for practicum, they call it practicum in German, or you're gone for practices from this time to this time in so country. It's very good. Or you can do an exchange program. As a student, you have the opportunity to do an exchange program outside your country. Very, very important. If you can show in your CV that you have done an exchange program outside the country, which has to do with the course of study you are doing, when you are applying for scholarship or you are applying for study abroad, you will see yourself, they will take you because you are a serious person there, and they know that you have experience. Because traveling is also like getting more experience. And another thing I want to talk about experience is that as a student, you need to get job or work experience. I've talked about it before, but you can do that simply by using some period of your break to work. For example, if you're into pharmacy, you're studying pharmacy, you can use the period of your break to go to a pharmacy store or a drug store and do a kind of volunteer work, or even work for 1 month. These things are work experience, so that by the time you are graduating, you can use them in your CV to say that you work for so year part-time or full-time during holiday. You did the holiday work. Student, if your professor or your supervisor is not doing the right thing, you can write to your HOD to change that professor or that supervisor for you, to give you a more reasonable supervisor who is ready to do their work. This one I learned in a hard way. Guys. Please, if you are applying for any scholarship or you are applying for studies abroad and you are asked to get a referee, like two referees, some were required to get two referees or three referees. Once you get this referee and the school is telling you that this particular person is not replying to the letter or email given to them, what you have to do is to call the lecturer and tell him or her that these people said she is not replying or he is not replying to their mails. If they send you another message telling you that this person is not replying, or you can say to them and ask them if this lecturer has replied. Someone you have already told that you're going to be a referee for me, and the person said yes, I will be a referee for you. The school over there that you are applying for or the school that you are using is sending the person mail to do a recommendation for you, and the person is not responding. The person is to write to the school and tell them that this person is not disposed to at this time to respond to this thing, that you have another lecturer you want to give. You give them the details of that lecturer so that they can leave that one and follow the new lecturer, so that you don't mix your admission, you don't miss your scholarship, you don't miss whatever good that is coming to you, don't miss the job. The next thing is to avail yourself to be available for interview, for questionnaire respondent, for survey respondents. Try your best to help other students who are doing survey or who are sharing questionnaire to respond to it, because one day you might be doing a research that needs you to do a surveyor or to use a questionnaire, and you need some people to respond to you. During that time, they might not agree to respond to you because you are not responsible for other people's own. So try your best as a student to respond to questionnaires. Thank you so much. I believe that you have learned enough. So please, I'll be bringing this type of video up. Remember, this one is part 1. I still have part 2 for you. You have to give me a thumbs up. I beg you, do not unsubscribe. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Ask people to please come and subscribe to my channel. At least this is what you can do for me. So guys, I love you guys. It breaks my heart to see you guys unsubscribe. Please, I am so sorry that I've not been posting. I have been so busy. Please guys, bear with me. I will try my best to at least be posting. Please do not unsubscribe. If there is any video you want me to make or anything, please don't be ashamed to write it in the comment section. And I want us to have this connection of talking to each other all the time. I want us to really have good connection. So please, I love you all. Until the next time, ciao ciao.